She's being accused of not only being the matriarch, but being the mastermind behind a murder. Court's going to start up in about an hour from now. What can we expect to happen?
I've gained more than a third of my body weight here. The diet is all carbs, no protein. I don't have any antibiotic cream, and I don't have a Band-Aid. Borrowing sanitary pads. She said, "You're going to buy me commissary. You don't snitch, you don't tell on anyone, because you'll be sorry you did."
Donna Adelson is accused of being the mastermind behind the plot to kill her daughter's ex-husband, law professor Danny Markel. His murder happened back in 2014. Her son, Charlie, very prominent dentist in the area, is behind bars now, already serving a life sentence after being convicted in this plot. 3 other people have been convicted as well. Jury selection is going to start up on August 19th. The final hearing is today, and it's going to be focused on several different filings from her defense team. They want to try to limit certain testimony and certain pieces of evidence. What are they talking about here? We're going to bring in now somebody who knows the case very well, Court TV digital producer Lauren Silver. Thanks for coming on this morning, Lauren. All right, Mama Donna, her team's trying to keep some stuff out. What exactly don't they want the jury to hear about?
Well, there's plenty they don't want the jury to hear about, but at this hearing, they're going to be focused on a few different things. So one, they are renewing their motion to exclude any evidence of flight as consciousness of guilt. If you remember, she was arrested on the jetway about to board a flight from Miami to Vietnam, which is a non-extradition country. So they want that to not be evidence of guilt. The other 2 motions are brand new. One is to suppress evidence tied to a quote-unquote new investigation, and they also want to exclude testimony from 2 investigators who are tied to said new investigation. So much of their fight today is going to be focused on this new investigation.
Ooh, okay, Lauren, what is this new investigation, dare we ask? What can you tell us about that?
Well, that's an excellent question. They certainly don't want us to know about the investigation. I can show you, this is what the motions look like. They are very redacted, lots of black marker. So we do know that this new investigation likely centers around some wiretaps that were done of Donna Adelson and involves some conversations with jailhouse informants. The state first disclosed the existence of this quote-unquote new investigation to the defense on April 7th, 2025. Now, Dan Markel was killed in 2014, so this is fairly new. There are 2 jailhouse informants. The names are redacted in most of the documents. We have a couple of names, but they're not very familiar to us. And the defense maintains that these informants' claims are either completely false or they could not be corroborated. We do know that one talked about Mrs. Adelson. We talked about Catherine Megbanua, who of course was convicted as part of this conspiracy, but none of the specifics about what were said is available because of the extensive redactions.
Geez Louise, yeah, they really don't want everybody in the public to know what's going on here. And I know you always dig through the docket, Lauren. Any response from the state that you might have seen, or have they filed anything yet?
Nothing at all. They have stood by these investigators. They have allowed updated depositions. As recently as 2 days ago, I believe they were doing more depositions of these investigators. So they're determined to get this, evidence in, but haven't said what it is. I'm interested to see in this hearing if it's going to be said in open court.
I know, we are too. 9 a.m. Eastern, our cameras will be there for it all. Lauren Silver, thank you for giving us the preview today. You're the best. And friends at home, check out Lauren's great work on courttv.com. Let's talk about this now with our legal eagles. So pleased to have on the program this morning high-profile trial attorney Ben Chu, famously represented Johnny Depp. We got to see him in action here on Court TV, and criminal defense attorney and former prosecutor David Bruno, who joins us every Friday morning. Good morning to you, gentlemen. Wonderful to see you both. All right, so Ben, let me start with you, please. What do you think about the state of Florida not offering Donna Adelson a deal? A lot of people have been talking about this in the true crime community because there was buzz that maybe there was going to be a deal and maybe that she rejected it, but the state came firmly out and said, oh no, we never offered her anything. What are your thoughts on that, please, Ben?
Well, first, it's great to see you again, Julie. I think the fact that they did not offer her a deal suggests that they are very confident in their case, and so they don't need to give her a deal.
Great point. I mean, and they've done it before, right? We know that they've tried first the gangbangers, then the girlfriend, then the dentist Charlie, her son, now Mama Donna. They keep working their way up the ladder, so to speak. And maybe they're not done after this. David Bruno, the flight is consciousness of guilt instruction. Lauren Silver was just talking about with us. You were a prosecutor. What are the odds here you think the state of Florida gets that instruction they want?
Yeah, you know, there's a saying, sometimes the cover-up is worse than the substantive crime itself, especially when it comes in as consciousness of guilt. And she's got problems on this. I mean, not only was she there with a one-way ticket to Vietnam, which does not have extradition to the United States, but she's also on the jailhouse recording talking about it as well, fleeing. So now she wants to say, oh, that was just her trying to get peace, which may be her position, maybe their arguments, but I really see it as an issue of fact for the fact finder. To get this out on just a claim that it wasn't consciousness of guilt is definitely not going to be enough, and it's coming in. And then this new investigation also is going to be something about these informants after the fact about cover-up and witness tampering. So it also goes into the same common thread as the consciousness of guilt. And it's piling up on her, and then you look at the after conduct of consciousness of guilt, and that's why the prosecutors are stacking up this evidence and feeling so good about their case.
A great analysis, David. Thank you. Ben Chu, let me turn back to you, please. A lot of people are wondering about the Adelson children. There are three of them, of course. We know Wendy, we know Charlie. There's a third son who reportedly has really distanced himself from the family. Personally feel sorry for him. He's got to be disgusted by all of this. But he may come in and testify. We don't know. Your best guess, Ben, do you think we'll see all of the Adelson children at one point or another?
I think perhaps, although Wendy may not show up, because of course she's probably next in the hierarchy, you know, in the crosshairs, as you put it. So we may not see her. It'll be an interesting family dynamic if she testifies in her mother's trial.
I know, definitely. It seems like the prosecutors want Wendy. David, what do you think about that? Do you get that that feeling based on what they're doing and the way this has gone, that they're aiming for her next?
I mean, this is a constant conversation when we talk about these cases. And, you know, she definitely wants to stay as far away from the courtroom as she possibly can, right? Because they haven't had enough up to this point, which is shocking to me, because Wendy is the one that had the most to gain from this particular conspiracy. She had the fight about custody, and really that's sort of the initial motivation for all of this. And I just wonder, what are they waiting for if they have it? Because I don't see them getting it from this case coming out. So is it going to happen? Who knows? I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet.
Right, David. I'm definitely with you on that. I keep thinking the other shoe's going to drop, and so far it hasn't. But we'll see. I have this feeling that something will happen during the trial. You both know, being such seasoned trial attorneys, anything can happen when you step in the courtroom. I just have this feeling something's going to happen with respect to Wendy that will lead to charging. Of course, we're thinking about Dan Markel, the victim in all of this. 2014, summer of 2014, when this happened.